Hi viewers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Alright, so this is the tutorials of how to get a bustier, a two bustier and a yoke. Alright, so I just took my middle measurement, which is actually the bust points and on the bust. Alright, and the bust wideness. So I'm making a distance of 1 inch this way, but on the other side I'll go ahead and connect this middle side this way. Then on this side I'll go ahead and extend it to 1.5 because I want the curve to really curve well. All right, so my under bust is 14 and I made it 13.5. All right, so I'm just making a rule. I drew a row under to indicate the under bust. Alright, so at this point now I'll stop this way. Alright, so the distance of my yoke, the middle part, I used 10 inches depth. Then on the side I used 5.5. Alright, because I want the depth to be deep. Alright, not too deep but deep. Alright, so at this point now I've cut it out. Then I placed my yoke on skin color mesh, and I'm getting exactly the way the pattern paper is on the mesh. Then I will just go ahead and add up about 1/2 inch on the upper part. All right, so I'll add up about 1/2 inch on the upper part for seam allowance. So once that is done, I'll be getting 4 of this because I'll be using, I would like to double it up. Okay, so this is the 4 folded together is into 4. Right, so the wideness of the neck I'm using 2.5.2. Then the depth I'm using 2.5.2 as well. All right, so because the main style of the neck is actually a turtled neck. All right, so I won't be turning the neckline. At this point now, I'll go ahead and slant the shoulder with a distance of about 1/2 inch. All right, so at this point now, place it on this part. Then I'll go ahead and trim it out. All right, so if you check under my pattern paper, you will notice an excess allowance, which is about 1/2 inch. That's for the seam allowance. Okay, so at this point now I'll go ahead and trim this off. So once I'm done trimming it off, I'll just stop stitch on each side. Okay, all right, then actually after top stitching I'll just go ahead and give it a nice press. All right, so this is exactly what it looks like. I've already joined my two bust here. All right, I've already joined my two bust here. So at this point now I'll go ahead and place my mesh on the main fabric and top stitch. All right, so I'll just go ahead and top stitch this at this point. So if you notice, I started my stitches from this side to secure the deep yoke. All right, so I'll just turn my fabric this way and sew to the other side as well. All right, so this is exactly how I joined my yoke to my tube bustier dress. All right, so after that is done, I'll also go ahead and sew the other side because I did not really sew the other side. I just top stitched it. All right, so at this point now I will sew this side from the beginning of the fabric, and I will sew and also meet up to the side I started the sewing from. All right, so at this point now, once I get to that point, I'll go ahead and stitch it off and remove my excess thread. All right, so this is how it looks like when that is done. All right, so at this point, this is how it looks like. At this point, we're not leaving it this way. We'll go ahead and turn it all up with our lining. All right, so this is exactly how the bustier looks like. All right, so at this point now, place my lining. All right, so the middle part to be facing the middle part. Then I'll ensure that all the sides are actually equal. Then I will start my sewing from this side, right on top of the main, the sewing of the mesh I did, which is the skin color net, right? So I will sew right on top, take exactly the shape, exactly the way the shape is. All right, so at this point now, I'll still follow exactly the shape. Mind you, I still have my lining there. I'm just sewing right on top of the first sewing which I did. All right, so I'm done with the other side. I'm actually sewing from this end so that I'll be able to get everything exactly the way it looks like. All right, it might be a little bit dark skin, but this is how it looks like when I'm done stitching up. All right, so this is how it looks like. Then this is the under, this is how it looks like. So I'll go ahead and give it a nice press. All right, so making a dress with a luxury lace, beaded lace, is really not an easy task. So we have to break the beads to be able to make this dress. All right, so at this point we've gotten the cape for the front part. All right, so just go ahead and place it on the front side of the dress and top stitch. It wasn't really easy making a dress with a luxury lace, a beaded lace, because honestly, it's if you're not careful, it will just spoil your sewing machine, break your needles and all. But if you're able to take off the beads and all, then your sewing might will be smooth. All right, but mind you, it's something you do gradually, so we don't rush on this part. Right, so I'm just taking exactly the shape of the neck because that's exactly how we got the cape on the front. Okay, so I'll just do this joining slowly to have everything in one piece. All right, so I'm done with it. At this point now, I'm actually attaching the applique for this. All right, so I'm actually done with the yoke part. Right now I'm doing with the neckline, which is the turtle neck. I'm attaching my beads and I'm actually using a gum to attach this. All right, because the bead doesn't even have a hole for a space for a hand needle stuff to attach it, so I'll be using a gum to attach this to give it the exact look I want. So this is how it looks like. This is the final look of this dress. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is HP Fashions GY. Don't also forget to turn up your notification button, okay? So whenever we post videos, you get notification. Look at how glittering the beads and the cup chain, everything on this dress looks like. Alright, looking very beautiful, very demure, and very mindful. Alright, so this dress is beautiful. Kindly rate this dress for us from a scale of 1 to 100. Alright, so we'll be waiting in the comment section to know what this dress actually looks like in your own eyes. Alright, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn up your notification button. Don't also forget to share this behind the scene as well. Alright, see you in my next video. Bye.